Tēnā koutou tamariki mā. It's Mr. Mataya here, and this is our first screencast for Friday 14th of March. Now, just a reminder that if you are here listening to the screencast, then you should have in your books already glued in the 3 sheets on the screen, which was left in your class for the Reliever 2 handout. And excuse me, well, I'm just going to bring up the notebook so that you can see. So you should have this one here, the vowel sounds, you should have the consonants, and the whakahua, or the pronunciation. So these 3 sheets need to be glued in your book, and they should already be glued just after your title page. And thank you again, those of you who have completed that title page. Now, if you haven't, that is now well overdue, and I will be chasing those up. Anyway, moving right along. So now that you've done that, your first activity is to, for the first 5 minutes, you're going to be working on the karakia. So I'm going to bring up the karakia on mine. So here we go. Here we go. And I'm going to increase the size of mine on my screen so you can also see. But of course you should have this on the very front cover of your book. And so what you're going to do is spend the next 5 minutes or so learning it and trying to memorize it. So I will say it for you. It is there in hard copy in front of you, but I will say it so that you can hear it being pronounced properly. And then I'll probably say it a couple of times, one a little more slower and one at natural speed, and you can just pause the video and rewind and watch it as many times as you need to, so that you can learn this prayer off by heart. So 5 minutes learning the karakia, that is your first activity. So here is the karakia. Karakia timatanga. E te atua, he mihi tēnei ki a koe, mo au painga kia mātou i tēnei wā. Āmene. E te atua, he mihi tēnei ki a koe, mo au painga kia mātou i tēnei wā. Āmene. Your activity 2, you will need to go back into Tōku Reo episode. So I'm going to click on this one right here. It's going to take me into Tōku Reo episode. Now just keep in mind that I am working off my laptop and you are on your iPad, so what you see on my screen may not quite look like yours. Nevertheless, so after you've watched the video through, now I'm going to ask that you, and I apologize to those people who may have finished it, but I'd like you to redo this exercise, watch the video, and then click on the grammar and then go through the grammar questions. Now just a note for some of you who didn't get to finish it all, if you look to the right hand side, you've got useful tips just here, useful tips, and then underneath that you have the vowels, all the vowels in uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase I, lowercase I, uppercase O or, and lowercase or, uppercase U, and lowercase U. Now these are here for you to help type. Some of you are probably wondering, how do I find a letter that's got the macron on it? And that's a line on top of the vowel. It's a macron, and the macron just simply makes the sound of the vowel sound a little longer. So take this first one here. Let's learn how to greet people. Hello to one person. Well, one person singular is of course koe. So that's K-O-E. So that word doesn't need a macron. Check the answer and it is correct. So take the next one. It says hello to two people. Tēnā kōrua it would be. Tēnā kōrua. Now the word kōrua has a letter that has a macron, and that's the letter O. The word kōrua is spelled like this. Almost. Okay, it's got all the correct letters. Kōrua is spelled that way, more or less. However, look what happens if I click on check answer. There you go, it's gone red. Okay, so that means that's and it says try again. Therefore the answer kōrua spelt this way is incorrect. So what you need to do, let me just delete it all. So I'm going to put in my K, and I need the vowel O, but of course the capital is not going to look right. So I'll delete the capital and I want the lowercase O. Then I'm going to finish it with R-U-A, and there is my kōrua. Let's see what happens now. Check answer, and there you go. Correct. Okay, so that there, what I showed you, if I click in here, these appear. These macron vowels, if you like. Okay, so that's basically how to use that. Now, once you have done the grammar, then go ahead and click on, once you've gone through those, give all the questions a go. And if you're not sure, then you might pay to go back to the video to see and try and recall some of the things that was mentioned, and that will definitely help you to answer these questions here. Click on the vocab, and there are some other questions for you. Now let's review the vocabulary for the first episode. What is the English word for kai? Or I'll do the first one. It is food. Check answer is correct. What is a whare? It is not a boat. It is not a car. It's not a cat. It's not fairy. But whare is a house. And we often refer to a meeting house on a marae as a whare. Check answer, and that is correct. So after you've gone through those questions, then click on test. Now this test, episode 1 test, it will be done on here. So go ahead and answer as best you can. The answer's here. Okay, so that is activity 2. Okay, and that would pretty much conclude activity 2. Right, your activity 3 today, activity 2 was episode 1. Activity 3, I'd like you to start episode 1. Now, just have a look here. Let me just clarify this. I explained this to a class that I had yesterday. If you look up here, you will notice series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these reflect levels. So series 1 is real basic and it progressively gets harder. So series 5, you would just be absolutely lost. Okay, so at least in series 1 there'll be some words that you'll be familiar with. Now if you move over to the right side, you'll notice 01, series 1, episode 1. Now if I click on here, you will see several episodes. In fact, there are 100 of them. 100 episodes in series 1 alone. Then they go through series 2, and again there are just heaps of them. So there's really no way on earth that we will get through all of Series 1 even. There's no way on earth that we're going to be able to get through all of Series 1. So after you've done episode 1, I'd like you to click on to episode 2. And I'm looking here underneath that. There's a blurb, and that just reminds us of what we are focusing on today. So on today's show, it says here, we'll revise greetings, how to greet one person, 2 people, and 3 or more people. We will revise our 10 top words from the last show, and we'll eavesdrop on a 100% Te Reo Māori conversation with a native speaker. Now this one's a little bit different today. So much of what you'll see in this video is repeated from episode 1. Okay, because remember, this is just a revision really. Again, go through the grammar, go through the vocab, but the test, I will give this to you in another format. So instead of completing the test here, instead of completing the test in this space, I'd like you to back out so that you come back to the main page, and on the main page you will see that I have episode 2 test. Click on it, and it basically has the same questions. Okay, episode test, and you can write the words in, you can highlight or highlight and write the words in. It's pretty simple to do. So once you've done that, save that, because you will need to print that off, and that will be evidence of your work. So make sure that once you've finished this test, send it to the printer, go and collect it, and then glue it in your book, and then you're done. So that will be activity 3 done. Now if there is time, and that is only if there is time, I would ask that you go onto Google and put in a Google search for, hang on, just do a Google search for online Māori games, and the first one that comes up is Māori language learning games, digital dialects. Now I do apologize if we have been to this site before. I've got a feeling I have been away once before and had this activity up. But I mean, you can focus on numbers, you know, animals. There's some other numbers 13 to 20, fruit and vegetables. If there is time, then by all means go ahead and have a play around with this here. If we go to animals, you can see quickly what it looks like. Here we go. You know, learn the words first. Bat, peka peka, bee, pea, cow, kau, deer, tia, dog, kuri, donkey, kaihe, duck, raki raki, elephant, arewhana, goat, nane nane, hen, hei hei, horse, hoi ho, lion, raiona, mouse, kiore, pig, puaka, rabbit, rapeti, rat, kiore, sheep, hippie. And then of course once you've learnt those words, or some of them, then you can go ahead and play the game. I mean, that site there, I'm quite happy for you to just, you know, just play around and get familiar with the words, have a play with the games. You know, if had enough of that one, then try the fruit and vegetables, try numbers 1 to 12, etc. So you could be doing that until the end of the period. Well, boys and girls, I think I've spoken far too long now. I've got to give you time enough to work on this, work on your work for today. And well, good luck. And if any problems at the end of this period or later, please feel free to give me an email, send me an email, or later. So good luck, and thank you very much. Ka kite koutou. a te mani, a te rawiki. I'll see you guys again soon.